The next song, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to dedicate to the man here on the extreme right. His name is Kieran Burke, and the subject is whiskey, and it's called Whiskey in the Jar, and it goes like this. As I was going over the far-famed Kerry Mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced my pistol and I then produced my rapier, saying stand and deliver, for you are a bold deceiver, mushering da-ba-doo-da-ba-da. Whack fall da daddy-o, whack fall da daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in me pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore that she never would deceive me, but the devil take the women, for they never can be easy, mushering da-ba-doo-da-ba-da. Whack fall da daddy-o, whack fall da daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went unto my chamber all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of golden jewels and for sure it was no wonder, but Jenny drew me charges and she filled them up with water, then sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter, mushering da-ba-doo-da-ba-da. Whack fall da daddy-o, whack fall da daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. And 'twas early in the morning, just before I rose to travel, up comes a band of footmen and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced my pistol, for she'd stolen away me rapier. I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken, mushering da-ba-doo-da-ba-da. Whack fall da daddy-o, whack fall da daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. And if anyone can aid me, 'tis my brother in the army. If I can find a station in Cork or in Killarney, and if he'll go with me, we'll go roaming in Kilkenny, and I'm sure he'll treat me better than my sporting Jenny, mushering da-ba-doo-da-ba-da. Whack fall da daddy-o, whack fall da daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar, and mushering da-ba-doo-da-ba-da. Whack fall da daddy-o, whack fall da daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Whoop!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been asked to sing a song which has 7 verses, but we're only allowed to sing 5 of them. Oh, as I was home on a Monday night, as drunk could be, I saw a horse outside the door, where my old horse should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns that horse outside the door, where my old horse should be? You're drunk, you silly old fool, and still you cannot see. That's a lovely sow that me mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but a saddle on a sow, sure I never saw before. And as I went home on a Tuesday night, as drunk could be, I saw a coat behind the door, where my old coat should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns that coat behind the door, where my old coat should be? You're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's a woolen blanket that my mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but buttons in a blanket sure I never saw before. And as I went home on a Wednesday night, as drunk could be, I saw me pipe upon the chair, where my old pipe should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns that pipe upon the chair, where my old pipe should be? You're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's a lovely tin whistle that my mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but tobacco in a tin whistle sure I never saw before. And as I went home on a Thursday night, as drunk could be, I saw 2 boots beneath the bed, where my old boots should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, Who owns them boots beneath the bed where my old boots should be? And you're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. They're two lovely geranium pots me mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but laces in geranium pots I never saw before. And as I went home on a Friday night, as drunk could be, I saw a head inside the bed where my old head should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me who owns that head with you in the bed where my old head should be? Well, you're drunk, you silly old devil, still you cannot see. That's a baby boy that me mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but a baby boy with his whiskers on, sure I never saw before. La, 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 la.
You may
travel from there to the county Kildare, from Dublin right down to Macroom. But where would you see a fine widow like me, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the combe? I'm a scrap of a widow that lives in a place in Dublin that's known as the Combe. And me comfort and ease, you know, king could excel, though me palace consists of one room. Be Patrick Street corner for 35 years, I stood be me stall, that's no lie. And while I stood there, there was no one would dare to say black was the white of me eye. You may travel from there to the county Kildare, from Dublin right down to Macroom. And where would you see a fine widow like me, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the combe? I sell apples and oranges, nuts and split peas, bullseyes and sugar sticks sweet. On a Saturday night I sell second-hand clothes from me stall on the floor of the street. Now I have a son Mick and he plays on the fife, he belongs to the Longford Street Band. It would do your heart good just to see them march out of a Sunday to Sandy Mount Strand. You may travel from Clare to the county Kildare, from Dublin right down to Macroom. And where would you see a fine widow like me, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the combe? Me boys, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the combe.
On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November, we tripped lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts, and I'm not making hay. Oh, I loved too much, and by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to the artists who have known the true gods of sound and the stone, and word and tint without stint. I gave her poems to say, with her own name there, and her own dark hair, like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly. My reason must allow that I had loved not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel woos, the clay he'd lose his wings at the dawn of day.
And it's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog, all for my beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all me tin with the ladies drinking gin, for across the Western Ocean I must wander. Well, I'm sick in my head and I haven't been to bed since first I came ashore with me plunder. I've seen centipedes and snakes, me head is full of aches, and I think I'll take a path for way up yonder. And it's all for me grog, the jolly, jolly grog, all for my beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all me tin with the ladies drinking gin, for across the Western Ocean I must wander. Where are me boots, me noggin, noggin boots? They're all sold for beer and tobacco. The soles, they were thin and the uppers letting in, and the heels were looking out for better weather. And it's all for me grog, the jolly, jolly grog, all for my beer and tobacco. But I spent all me tin with the ladies drinking gin, or across the Western Ocean I must wander. Where is me shirt, me noggin, noggin shirt? It's all sold for beer and tobacco. The sleeves had got worn out, the collar turned about, and the arse was looking out for better weather. And it's all for me grog, the jolly, jolly grog, all for the beer and tobacco. But I spent all me tin with the ladies drinking gin, or across the Western Ocean I must wander. Where is me wife, me noggin, noggin wife? She's all sold for beer and tobacco. You see her front had got worn out, her tail got kicked about, and I'd say she's looking out for better weather. And it's all for me grog, the jolly, jolly grog, all for the beer and tobacco. But I spent all me tin with the ladies drinking gin, or across the Western Ocean I must wander.
Well, in a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was bound. Many an hour sweet happiness have I spent in that neat little town. away from the land, far away from my friends and relations, betrayed by the black velvet band. Let's have it now. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll down Broadway, meaning not long for to stay. When who should I meet but this pretty fair maid, come a traipsing along the highway. She was both fair and handsome, her neck it was just like a swan's, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Everybody, her eyes they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll with this pretty fair maid and a gentleman passing us by. Well, I knew she meant the doing of him by the look in her roguish black eye. Oh, but she took from his pocket and placed it right into my hand. And the very first thing that I said was, access to the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Before the judge and the jury, next morning I had to appear. The judge, he says to me, young man, your case it is proven clear. We'll give you 7 years penal servitude to be spent far away from the land, far away from your friends and companions, betrayed by the black velvet band. Everybody, her eyes they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. When I was a bachelor, airy and young, I followed the roving trade, and the only harm that ever I've done was courting a servant maid. I courted her all summer long, and part of the winter too. But many's the time I rolled my love all over the foggy dew, 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 all over the foggy dew. One night as I lay in my bed, a-taking my pleasant sleep, this pretty young maid, she came to me, and bitterly she did weep. She tore her hair and she wrung her hands, saying, oh, what shall I do? For tonight I resolve to sleep with you, for fear of the foggy dew, 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 for fear of the foggy dew. All in the the first part of that night, we rolled in sport and play, and in the latter part of that night, she in my arms did lay. And when broad daylight did appear, she cried, I am undone. Ah, hold your tongue, you silly young girl, for the foggy dew is gone, gone, gone. For the foggy dew is gone. Supposing you should have a child, it would make you laugh and smile. And suppose you have another one, it would make you think a while. And suppose you have another one, and another one or two, it would make you leave off them foolish young tricks and think on the foggy dew, 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 and think on the foggy dew. I love that girl with all my heart. She's as dear as my lovely life. But in the latter part of the year, she became another man's wife. But I've never told him of her faults, and I'm damned if ever I'll do. But many's the time as she winks and smiles, I think on the foggy dew, dew, dew. I think on the foggy dew.
I remember the night that he came in from the wintry cold and damp. A giant of a man in an oilskin coat, and the bundle that told he wasn't. He stood at the bar and he called a pint, then turned and gazed at the fire. On a night like this, to be safe and dry is my one and only desire. So here's to those that are dead and gone, the friends that I love dear. And here's to you, and I bid you adieu. St. Donegal, Danny's been here, me boys. Donegal, Danny's been here. Then in a voice that was hushed and low, he said, listen, I'll tell you a tale. How a man of the sea became a man of the roads, and never more will set sail. I fished out of Howth and Killybegs, Ardglass and Baltimore, but the cruel sea has beaten me, and I'll end my days on the shore. So here's to those that are dead and gone, the friends that I love dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. St. Donegal, Danny's been here, me boys. Donegal, Danny's been here. One fateful night in the wind and the rain, we set sail from Killybegs town. There were 5 of us from sweet Donegal, and 1
from County Down. We were fishermen who worked the sea and never counted the cost. But I never thought ere that night was done that my fine friends would all be lost. So here's to those that are dead and gone, the friends that I love dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. St. Donegal, Danny's been here, me boys. Donegal, Danny's been here. Then the storm it broke and drove the boat to the rocks about 10 miles from shore. As we fought the tide, we hoped inside to see our homes once more. Then we struck a rock and howled the bow, and all of us knew that she'd go down. So we jumped right into the icy sea and prayed to God we wouldn't drown. But the raging sea was rising still as we struck out for the land. And she fought with all her cruelty to tame that gallant band. By St. John's Point in the early dawn, I dragged myself on the shore, and I cursed the sea for what she'd done, and vowed to sail her nevermore. So here's to those that are dead and gone, the friend that I love dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. St. Donegal, Danny's been here, me boys. Donegal, Danny's been here. Ever since that night I've been on the road, travelling and trying to forget that awful night. I lost all my friends, I see their faces yet. And often at night when the sea is high and the rain is tearing at my skin, I hear the cries of drowning men floating over on the wind. Oh, here's to those that are dead and gone, the friend that I love dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. St. Donegal, Danny's been here, me boys. Donegal, Danny's been here. So here's to those that are dead and gone, the friends that I love dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. St. Donegal, Danny's been here, me boys. Donegal, Danny's been here.
Farewell to all our Scottish way. Farewell our ancient glory. Farewell even to our Scottish name, so famed in martial story. Now Sark runs over the Solway Firth, and Tweed runs to the ocean to mark where England's province stands. Such a parcel of woes
in a nation. What force or guile could not subdue through many warlike ages is wroth now by a coward few for hireling traitors' wages. The English steel we could disdain, secure in valor's station, but we're bought and we're sold for English gold. Such a parcel of rogues in a nation. Oh, or I had seen the day that treason thus could sell us, my old grey head had line and clay with Bruce and loyal Wallace. But pith and power till my last hour, I'll make this declaration that we're bought and we're sold for English gold. Such a parcel of rogues in a nation.
As I walked by the dockside one evening so fair, to view the salt waters and take the salt air, I heard an old fisherman singing a song. Oh, take me away, boys, me time is not long. Wrap me up in me oilskin and a jumper, no more on the dockside be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Now Fiddler's Green is a place I've heard tell, where the fishermen go if they don't go to hell. When the skies are all clear and the dolphin do play, and the cold coast of Greenland is far, far away. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumper, no more on the dockside be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green, where the skies are all clear and there's never a gale, and the fish jump on board with one swish on their tail. where you lie at your leisure, there's no work to do, and the skippers below making tea for the crew. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking after mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. When you get back on docks and the long trip is through, there's pubs and there's clubs and there's lassies there too. Oh, where the girls are all pretty and the beer it is free, and there's bottles of rum growing from every tree. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking out trip mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Now I don't want a harp, not a halo, not me. Just give me a breeze and a good rolling sea. I'll play me old squeeze box as we sail along, oh, with the wind in the rigging to sing me a song. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking after mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green.
The old ways are changing, you cannot deny. The day of the traveler is over. There's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to bide. So farewell to the life of the rover. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the traveling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the cant and the Romany tongue, farewell to the Romany talking, the buying and selling, the old fortune telling, the knock on the door and the hawking. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the traveling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the besoms of heather and baroon, farewell to the creels under the basket. The folks of today, they would far sooner pay for a thing that's been made out of plastic. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the traveling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. The old ways are passing and soon they'll be gone, for progress is aye a big factor. It's sent to afflict us, and when they evict us, they'll tow us away with a tractor. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the traveling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the pony, the cob and the mare, the reins and the harness are idle. You don't need a strap when you're breaking up scrap, so farewell to the bit and the bridle. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the traveling man, and farewell to the 30-foot trailer. Farewell to the fields where we've sweated and toiled at pulling and crowning and lifting. They'll soon have machines and the travelling queens, and their menfolk had better be shifting. Goodbye to the tent and the old caravan, to the tinker, the gypsy, the travelling man, and goodbye to the 30-foot trailer. You've got to move fast to keep up with the times, for these days a man cannot donder. There's a bylaw to say you must be on your way, and another to say you can't wander.
Dear sir, I write this note to you to tell you of me plight, and at the time of writing I am not a pretty sight. Me body is all black and blue, me face a deathly grey, and I write this note to say why Paddy's not at work today. While working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear. Now to throw them down from such a height, it was not a good idea. The foreman wasn't very pleased, he being an awkward sod. He said I'd have to cart them down the ladders in me hod. Now, clearing all these bricks by hand, it was so very slow. So I hoisted up a barrel and secured the rope below. But in me haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks was heavier than me. So when I untied the rope, the barrel fell like lead, and clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. Well, I shot up like a rocket, till to my dismay I found that halfway up I met the bloody barrel coming down. Well, the barrel broke me shoulder as to the ground it sped, and when I reached the top, I banged the pulley with me head. Well, I clung on tight, though numbed with shock from this almighty blow, and the barrel spilled out half the bricks 14 floors below. Now, when these bricks had fallen from the barrel to the floor, I then outweighed the barrel, and so started down once more. Still clinging tightly to the rope, I sped towards the ground, and I landed on the broken bricks that were all scattered round. Well, I lay there groaning on the ground. I thought I'd passed the worst, when the barrel hit the pulley wheel, and then the bottom burst. Well, a shower of bricks rained down on me. I hadn't got a hope. As I lay there moaning on the ground, I let go the bloody rope. The barrel then being heavier, it started down once more, and landed right across me as I lay upon the floor. Well, it broke 3 ribs and my left arm, and I can only say that I hope you'll understand why Paddy's not at work today.
School day's over, come on then, John. Time to be getting your pit boots on with your sark and the moleskin trousers, it's time you were on your way. Time you were learning the pitman's job and earning the pitman's pay. Come on then, Jim, it's time to go. Time you were working down below. Time to be handling a pick and shovel, you start at the pits today. Time you were learning the collier's job and earning the collier's pay. Come on then, die. Almost light. The morning mist is on the valley, it's time you were on your way. Time you were learning the miner's job and earning the miner's pay. School days over, come on then, John. Time to be getting your pit boots on with your sark and the moleskin trousers, it's time you were on your way. Time you were learning the pitman's job and earning the pitman's pay. Ah, well, who wouldn't be a sailor lad a-sailing on the main to gain the goodwill of his captain's good name? He came ashore one evening for to sea, and that was the beginning of my own true love and me. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in me own country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing green in the north country. Well, I asked her for a candle to light me way to bed, likewise for a handkerchief to tie around me head. She tended to me knees like a young maid ought to do. So then I says to her, now won't you jump in with me too? And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in me own country, and where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing green in the north country. Well, she jumped into bed and making no alarm, thinking a young sailor lad could do to her no harm. I hugged her, I kissed her the whole night long, till she wished the short night had been 7 years long. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in me own country, and where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing green in the north country. Well, early next morning the sailor lad arose, and into Mary's apron threw a handful of gold, saying, take this, me dear, for the damage that I've done, for tonight I fear I've left you with a daughter or a son. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in me own country, and where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing green in the north country. And if it be a girl child, send her out to nurse, with gold in her pocket and with silver in her purse. If it be a boy child, he'll wear the jacket blue and go climbing up the rigging like his daddy used to do. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in me own country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing green in the north country. And so come all of you fair maidens, a warning take by me, never let a sailor lad an inch above your knee. I trusted one and he beguiled me, he left me with a pair of twins to dangle on me knee. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in me own country, and where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing green in the north country. Thank you. It was and through the window broad, and all the teary willies hold. The sweetest kiss that e'er I got was from my dainty Davy. Oh, lease me on your curly pow, dainty Davy, dainty Davy. Lease me on your curly pow. You're my own dear dainty Davy. 'Twas down among my father's peas, and underneath the cherry trees. 'Twas there he kissed me as he pleased. Now he's my own dear dainty Davy. Oh, lease me on your curly pow, dainty Davy, dainty Davy. Lease me on your curly pow. You're my own dear dainty Davy. When he was chased by a dragoon, into my bed he laid him down. I thought him worthy of his room. Now he's my own dear dainty Davy. Oh, lease me on your curly pow, dainty Davy, dainty Davy. Lease me on your curly pow. You're my own dear dainty Davy. A hungry feeling came o'er me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell, and the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. To begin the morning, a screw was bawling, "Get up, you bowsy, and clean up your cell." And the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. The lags were sleeping, Humpy Gussie was creeping, as I lay there weeping for my gal Sal. And the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Up in the female prison, there are 75 women. 'Tis among them I wish I did dwell. Then the old triangle could go jingle, jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. All along the banks of the Royal Canal. The sun is burning in the sky. Strands of cloud go slowly drifting by. In the park, the dreamy bees are droning in the flowers among the trees. And the sun is in the sky. Now the sun is in the west. Little kids lay down to take their rest, and the couples in the park are holding hands and waiting for the dark. And the sun is in the west. Now the sun is sinking low. Children playing know it's time to go. High above a spot appears, a little blossom blooms and then draws near. And the sun is sinking low. Now the sun has come to earth, shrouded in a mushroom cloud of death. Death comes in a blinding flash of hellish heat and leaves a smear of ash. And the sun has come to earth. Now the sun has disappeared. All is darkness, anger, pain, and fear. Twisted, sightless wrecks of men go groping on their knees and cry in pain. And the sun has disappeared. I must away now, I can no longer tarry. This morning's tempest I have to cross. I must be guided without a stumble into the arms I love the most. And when he came to his true love's dwelling, he knelt down gently upon a stone, and through her window he's whispered lowly, is my true lover within at home? Wake up, love, it is thine own true lover. Wake up, love, and let me in, for I am tired, love, and oh so weary, and more than near drenched to the skin. She's raised her off her down soft pillow. She's raised her up and she's let him in, and they were locked in each other's arms until that long night was past and gone. And then that long night was past and over, and when the small clouds began to grow, he's taken her hand and they've kissed and parted. Then he saddled and mounted and away to go. I must away now, I can no longer tarry. This morning's tempest I have to cross.